Hey folks, Landstryder here, and welcome back to another episode of Atom Smasher. I'm here with Dernal.
Hey.
And today we are up in the new space station. We've got pretty much everything from the old base moved up. All of our storage drawers, all of our inventory, which is now mostly inside these ME drives now. We're no longer using the modular storage. They're just empty and just kind of sitting over here. Let's see, what else have we done? We've got our tech gun little lab over here going, and majority of this stuff has all been interfaced with the applied energistic system. I've set up a good portion of auto crafting, and we're going to be doing some more auto crafting setup, stuff like that. One of the other things where I have done is I've started put the charging station and some things so that we will eventually be able to make the player interface and then set it up so that we can recharge our power cells, our nuclear power cells, our regular power cells, and redo our magazines, autocraft our magazines when we're out and about. Dornell is in the process of getting another landing pad ready to go so that we can actually have 2 rockets up here. I do believe that the docking pad has been fixed in the latest version of we'll call this Dock 1. The docking pad has been fixed in the latest version of advanced rocketry, so we should be able to land our rockets over here on these landing pads. So he's going to mirror this little landing pad that I've got on this side over on this side too. So then we're going to do some things there. Now, before we can go to a new planet, though, we're going to need to put together our warp reactor. Now, we've one of the things I did between this episode, one of the many things I did between this episode and last, is I actually went over to Whisperfire's base, and before anybody else had a chance to raid it, we pretty much tore the whole thing down using a RF Tools builder, and just collected all that stuff up and stored it in our system. And since she has access to all of the places that all of our base areas and stuff too, so that shouldn't be an issue. If she does decide that she wants to do a little bit of playing on the server, she can just come up to our base and grab whatever she needs. So, but I figured I would collect all that stuff up before some random newbie just went and raided it. But warp reactor. So we actually have the warp core right here. I believe that was an extra craft that actually came from Whisperfire's inventory of stuff. So if we look at the recipe for that, it would have been a copper coil, some titanium plates, that's actually not too bad, some steel plates, and some advanced circuits. Actually not too terribly expensive. Now what is kind of expensive, woohoo, I made the advancement warp. What is kind of expensive is the rest of the inventory here. Now, if you watched the last episode, you've seen that I put together these I think these are really great elevator system where it does open the door that the elevator is on, the level that it's on, but we're going to be putting on the warp reactor in the center of the lower torus. So we'll come down here. It's actually going to be back here in this area, in this space, and of course, the block that I need to well, here we'll just take another block out from over here. I'll be showing you guys some of the stuff that's down in the inner workings of the station here in just a second. But let's get our warp reactor built up, and then we need a warp core, so that's going to go right there. Perfect. Put the warp core block right here, and then we're also going to take some titanium blocks. What's that in the middle? Block of gold. Okay, so let's head back up to the upper torus to grab our materials. Over here, I believe we're going to need 2 blocks of gold, possibly, ultimately, maybe 3. Can't remember total. Does this tell me? 2 blocks of gold, 1 input hatch, 4 machine structures, and 15 blocks of titanium. Thankfully, the hologram tells me exactly what I needed there. So, an input hatch should have several of those. Yep, input hatch and machine structure. 1, 2, 3, 4 of those. Alright, now it should be good to go ahead and back down. Nope. No, I didn't want to go all the way to the bottom. I wanted to go to the up. I keep hitting the wrong button. I'm playing around on the elevator. It's fun. Let's see if I get to the right floor this time. It's a great elevator as long as you hit the right button. Okay, there we go. Now, block of titanium around the outside there, like so. Block of gold there in the middle. And I believe another block of gold is going to go right there. If I go ahead and scroll up, then we put the machine structures around that. Scroll up one more time and input hatch right there with our 8 remaining blocks of titanium around it. And if I click that, there we go. We've got a warp reactor, warp core. And probably what I will do is, I think it's probably safe to go ahead and remove this builder at this time. So we're going to do that. Pull that builder up. And I think what I'll do is have this ceiling, have something come down from the top there. Whoops, falling through the hole I made earlier. Have something come down through the top there and like connect up with that, you know, so it looks like it's actually coming all the way down again. Coming together down there is what I'm trying to say. And the other thing we're going to want to do is go ahead and feed our dilithium crystals directly into that input hatch using the applied energistic system. Now I'm actually in the crawl spaces right now where I've set up our inscriber process again. Now I did it sideways thinking that I might be able to make it a little more compact, but it ended up actually being a little more convoluted. But it does fit in the space down here, and this is an area that's not going to be accessible or at least not visible for the most part. But we got the iron dropper down there with the pool of water and the growth accelerator things all set up down here with the entity detector, with the item filter list set on custom. That makes sure that this doesn't use power unless it's actually growing some crystals. And instead of using the toggleable power and input thing, this is actually connected to the entire system, to the you know, the regular applied energistic system. But I have an ME toggle bus right there, and that cuts off this little bit of cable that powers all of these growth accelerators, as long as it's I think it's as long as it's not receiving a redstone signal. So this is actually set to normal now, whereas the other setup that I had it inverted. But when items go into the crystal growth chamber that need power, which is the, if we look at the item filter here, which is the seeds, it will automatically turn on and grow those seeds. Otherwise it's not on and doesn't use power, which is how it was before. Again, with all of this stuff, everything that for the processors and for the crystals feeds into this dropper, and then that is taken out by the same logistical sorter and same sorting list that I had before that sorts it all out into where it needs to go. Then it pulls out that stuff, puts it into that inscriber over there if it's a processor, and finishes off that process. Obviously I've got an export bus keeping redstone in that particular one at all times. Now thankfully it only accepts one at a time, so it doesn't, like, you know, keep a whole stack or anything like that in there, which is it's actually kind of nice. But as soon as it finishes a processor, it puts another piece of redstone in there. Oh goodness, yeah, all that stuff down under the floor. This is also where our water supply is at. We got a little pool of water right there with our electric pumps. We got 4 electric pumps fully upgraded with the maximum amount of speed and energy upgrades, so that should be able to supply water to the majority of our processes that require said water. One of those things is over here where that water comes through and goes into the electrolytic separator for the ore processing chain, which is back here, and is also set up connected to the applied energistic system for auto demand crafting of ingots. It's currently only set up to 3x, because, well, doing the more complicated stuff is, well, it's more complicated and convoluted, and it's a bit of a slower process when you start adding all that other stuff. So let's go check on Dornell's status here. Looks like he's doing pretty good. Oh, I see what you did. Yeah, okay. I was gonna say I kind of left that open like that so they have that more of a roundish kind of shape, but that's cool. It looks good with the thing there, the stripy stuff. I like the stripy stuff. Cautionary.
Yeah, I like it. It looks. I think it looks a bit more aesthetically pleasing this way.
I think you're right. I think you're right. Anyway, moving right along on this end of the hallway here, we've got all of our auto crafting stuff. Like I said, back here is where that goes. I've also got attached just to the smeltery down here just another interface which allows us to do smelting recipes, because everything that goes through this chain ends up going into the smelter, but we can also just use the smelter by itself using that interface. And that quantum entangleporter right there is basically just a entangleporter that's set up so that we can use the digital miner to send stuff straight back into the system. So it gets power and then it sends items into that interface. So whenever we want to set up the digital miner, all we have to do is put down another entangleporter, set it to the proper channels, and set it to export the energy that this one is receiving and import the items from the digital miner, which then will end up back in our system via the ME interface there. Pretty cool. Let's see, we've got 4 crafting computers. Each one of these has a coprocessor. Now 2 of them are only 4Ks and then the other 2 are 16Ks. I can't remember which one's which, but either way, there's plenty of crafting processor power here. We've got a total of 4 interfaces on each side that surround our molecular assembler, and then behind this one is where I am doing a couple things back here. This is where I've got a crusher by itself so that we can do things like flux dust, sand, and gravel from cobblestone, which is great because this allows us to do, like, you know, glass if as much glass as we have for cobblestone. It's also where we get our silicon, you know, any of the crushing recipes that need to be by themselves, because I can't use the crusher that is part of the ore crafting thing because it just wouldn't work out. So I did have to have one of those off by itself. And then the other channel that is back here is where we're doing all of our enriching. So this is our infusing, I mean, not enriching, metallurgic infusing, which I've got an enrichment chamber right here that is dedicated just to this. So what happens for these, like each one of these, I've encoded it so that it'll know that it has to craft at least 8. So that means that there won't be any leftover material in the infuser after a particular recipe. So it pushes the redstone and the osmium over into this dropper, and then that is again pulled out by a logistical sorter to know whether or not that the stuff goes into the enrichment chamber or if everything else just basically goes in the infusing factory. This one is taking advantage of a default color, which is the dark aqua, which is what goes into the infusing factory. So if any of the other materials other than these 4 materials those would all go into the enrichment chamber, making them giving them the 8 uses from being the compressed version. This auto ejects over into the infusing factory, where I have the auto sort turned off. I found that you have to make sure the auto sort is turned off, because if this happens to want to craft a couple different things at the same time, and then it's spread, like say circuits and an enriched alloy both go in here at the same time, and it can do that. You can push all that stuff in there at the same time. if the enrichment chamber then gets the redstone, but the infusing factory gets the or gets not the osmium, but gets something else, right? That's not the osmium. Then it would spread these out, and then it would just kind of sit there and not do the proper recipe. There is one potential problem here, is if it asks for if it asks for steel and enriched alloy at the same time, could run into an issue. But for the most part, I haven't had any problem with that. It's working pretty good. All right, so now that we've got our warp core down there, we need to hook it up to the ME system and get some stuff into it. So let's get our cable out. Cable, and then we're going to need an export. An export bus. Doesn't look like we have one ready to go, so we can just click start. Oh, by the way, don't forget to make sure that if you've got an Ender convergence device, Dornell, make sure that's turned off while you're up here, because you'll pick up stuff out of the auto crafting that goes on down below sometimes. Did I actually?
Let me tear you away for a minute from what you're doing.
Okay. Let me go check it out. Oh, wrong side. It's over here. Not bad. Not bad. Just need to put the doors on. Yeah, doors. Put the docking port. Yeah, docking pad. So let's. Oh, the other thing I was thinking that would be nice is to do a platformer. Platform. Let's do one of those. Do we not have any red dye? Crazy. We got.
Oh, you didn't put any windows in, did you?
Bushes. Yeah, I did. What do you mean? What are you talking about? Windows.
There's no glass in here.
There is.
Oh yeah, that's it now, but it's not showing up.
It's if you don't.
It was.
It's the gray bordered glass, which is nice. It's the same as everywhere else, but you only get the streaks in it if you have more than a 1x. So if you just have the 1x, it actually is 100% transparent, which is actually pretty cool. So if we come over here and we use the, I mean, I hate the color of this thing, so but we got to put it down someplace. We'll put it down right here. The platform creation stuff. And let's see. I don't know. I don't think that we're going to be able to use our factory blocks in it, but I'm going to try real quick. I don't think it'll go in. No, not really, but we can use like stone. I think stone is probably the best. Yeah, I think it only takes like vanilla materials, so if we was to do some of these stone, there's a stone platform, there's the ramps, there's the stone floor. That might be the one that I want to do at the ends. So if I did that, took some of those out, actually need 2 of those, and then I did like regular platforms. Just gonna see how this looks out there real quick in between. I don't know if it's gonna look any better than what he's got out there though. The little thing connection in between is actually not bad. Now this is one time I do want to have my teleport thing on. Oh, that's not exactly what I was shooting for, but let's see what it looks like on this side. Now I can always go back and use, there's a thing called a monkey wrench. That's not what I wanted. Thing called a monkey wrench. Oh, why is it down? Why is it going down there? That is weird. I guess you have to do it like that? I need that monkey wrench thing. That way we can actually change the this thing right here. Way we can change the pattern or shape or whatever. So that's not what I'm looking for. Is it that? Yeah, that's kind of what I was trying to do.
What the heck did you use for the door?
High-tech doors, I believe is what they're called. We should have a few extra ones in there somewhere. You know what I'm thinking is what I need is some railing along the side here. That might also be the other thing that we could use the platform for, is like put some railing up around in different places. Is this the one? That's stone rise. Actually want handrails. There we go. Maybe we only want one wide rail too. That would. I don't know how this works. This should. Where did it go? Very weird. I don't know. I'm thinking maybe go back to the other. Like you had the factory blocks out here. Just these. And then if what would you do to put these rails up? It doesn't know. I don't know. It looks like this actually needs to go onto a platform thing. I don't know. We'll go back to that for now. I will mess with the platform stuff off camera to see if I can't get it looking good. Right now, it looks like it's going to be a little more complicated than what I want to mess with at the time being. But we'll just go ahead and toss these things back in here. We'll head back downstairs where I can finish up connecting the warp core. And then the other thing we're going to need is the actual, what's it called? Warp computer? There, this thing right here. Warp controller, which we have a warp controller. Excellent. Recipe on that is a lot more complicated. Yes, awesome. Did you name the dock 2 or something?
No, I haven't named it anything. I left that for you.
Okay. Yeah, just got to awesome. Looking good. As you just open that up, we'll call this dock 2. That should do it. Now there's a way to like use a linking device and put it in that dock to like do some kind of automation and stuff like that. We're not too concerned about that just yet. In fact, I don't think we're going to be too concerned with that, because that would be like a good thing for like automating going down to the surface and back up. Since we are pretty much abandoning our surface space for the most part, other than like for a few minor things that we'll need to go down there for. I mean, we're going to maintain it, but not have the majority of our stuff. The majority of everything that we're going to do is going to be done up here in the space station from this point on, and this is basically our base of operation. And we'll have a few other little outpost base, which is basically what our old base is going to turn into, is a little outpost base. But now that we have our warp controller, we can, well, first of all, we're going to need to get some dilithium crystals out before I forget. Dilithium crystals, these right here. We're going to go down to, let me turn this back off before I forget, because I don't want that to have an effect. Let's head back down into the guts, the crawl spaces. I'm going to set this export bus straight onto there, and then I'm just going to bring a cable straight up. And I should be able to connect right into, in fact, we'll just come straight on up. Right through the middle here, and I'll put one right there. That'll do. That'll do quite nicely. Okay. And I shouldn't have no problem there because I don't believe that. And if I put that there, this should be filling up with dilithium. I did make an export bus, yes, okay. Maybe? This should not be overloaded. No, it's definitely not. Only 4 channels. Input hatch does not seem to be taken in any items though. That is definitely export bus. Interesting. I wonder why that is not working. This is definitely powered, yeah, there's no problems there.
Did you not show them the changes to the top yet?
I did not. Oh, that was weird. Oh, I see what's going on. I think I see what's going on. It's because the first several crystals that it put in, it was just getting absorbed. Just getting absorbed into the fuel tanks. There we go. So that was fueling up. It was actually using those crystals to fill up the fuel storage. So yeah, a few changes to the external and the bottom and the top. We actually made a little bit of bottom and top changes. So probably the best place to show you that from will be the outside. So let's let's head out onto one of the space docks over here. And there we go. So yeah, I made the top dome much more of a dome. That'll give us the ability to grow the larger trees, or at least some kind of a tree farm up here. So we'll have a permanent source of wood. I was thinking like either birch or maple, so something doesn't grow too huge. I mean, obviously we don't want like giant spruces or jungle trees, but I'll be able to set up the tree farm and a bit of a crop farm up there as well. So with plenty of space now that we got that full kind of dome shape there. And then I did some changes to the bottom down here. I had to make it a little bit deeper because to get our fusion reactor to fit in there and have space to work around it, I needed to make it a little bit taller in the bottom there. So let's go back inside and we'll take another look. We'll look at the inside of that real quick. But we do have warp fuel now. We have that's all set up and good to go. So let's take a quick look down here at the bottom where we're going to be putting our fusion reactor, and I can also show you what I did with the fission reactor. So we moved the fission reactor up from the ground base. Now I made it a little bit smaller. It's only got eight cells in there. So it's basically the same thing, the same configuration that I had in it before, except instead of 3 layers, it only has the 2 layers of cells, and in the checkerboard pattern, all the other stuff's pretty much the same in there. If you watch that episode, you'll not miss anything there. But it does cut our power down a little bit. You can see that we're marginally good with the heat. Or a thin margin of good on the heat. But if we come up in here, I've set up the applied energistic system to automatically export fuel into the reactor and automatically craft it. So if we look over here, you see that it says we've got the crafting card. So if we run out of fuel pellets in the applied energistic system, it will automatically craft some more of those and put them in there. And it can do that because I've connected all of our nuclear craft machines right over here. They all have an interface behind them. Unfortunately, they do not auto eject or anything like that, so I have to have the logistical transporter pipe pull out the result of each one. I've got a fuel reprocessor here, which is set up to automatically, any of the depleted fuel that comes out of the nuclear reactor will automatically go into the fuel reprocessor, and it is set to actually go down here to this crafter, which holds the tiny clumps, because there's really no point in having the tiny clumps go back into the system when I can just set this auto crafter right here to collect those all up, and then as I get enough of the particular different clumps, these are the ones that I've got it set up to deal with so far. As it gets those tiny clumps, it will turn them into the full-size clumps, which can then be used in the crafting of more nuclear fuel. Let's see, the isotope separator has the recipes set up for tiny clumps and uranium, so that if the reactor does demand one of those, you know, it runs out of fuel and then there's an actually crafting demand to do that, the applied energistic system knows that this is how it would go about getting those materials if there's no materials available in the system already. And I don't have any recipe set up with a decay hastener just yet, but that is a way that I could potentially reprocess some of the other fuels. And each one of these has a bunch of speed upgrades that brings its power usage to around 900 RF a tick. So, which is pretty much stretches the power cable that comes to it to its limit, I believe, pretty close to. So yeah, they all have a different amount of speed upgrades to try and get that pretty close to 900 to 1000 RF a tick. Now this one's pressurizer is actually a little bit over, but the rest of these are, you know, have plenty of speed upgrades, so that helps with the crafting process of keeping it relatively quick. Now the other thing I'm going to be doing soon is we're going to need to start processing water with the electrolyzer, the nuclear craft electrolyzer, and getting that all set up, which is actually going to go right there. Yep, there's a place for it. You can see that the water cable, the water pipe comes down here, and there's power pipe coming up from the top. So that's going to go there, and then we'll pull the stuff that comes out of it will actually go down and go into a big storage tank, or go someplace into a storage tank, potentially somewhere down here on this floor or the lower floor, because what we're going to be getting out of that is going to be like hydrogen, oxygen, and deuterium. And those materials, some of those materials we're going to either want to use for oxidizing our nuclear fuels in the case of the oxygen, and using the hydrogen and deuterium in the fusion reactor to create a massive power once we get that set up. But we got to get a reasonable amount of material built up and the logistics set up so that it can actually keep enough material in it to do all that stuff. I think the next thing to do is to jump down and bring up at least one of those rockets, one of our rockets for...
Well, hold on, let's show them this.
Oh, what are we showing? Yeah, over here I've started thinking about how to do gas mining, the unmanned mission gas mining to gas giants. First of all, we'd have to park the space station in orbit of a gas giant, which we're not going to be doing this today, but the way that those work is they have to actually drop down out of the bottom of your space station, and then they go forward once they're launched. So they got to go down a certain number of blocks, and then they go forward, and then they go off on their mission. So what I've done is I've set up this bay over here using Malleus blocks, and I'm hoping that the fact that these disappear is going to work for the whole you know, the whole process of the machine. I'm thinking of actually making this whole bay wider, all the way like too wider in these directions, and actually shorter in this direction, so that we actually have a walk space behind here that's not quite so cramped, because the little gas probes can actually be fairly small. But they do need to like sit here, and they have to have some frame stuff around it. But we're going to get into that in another episode. But yeah, that's how we've made the gas launch bay there for the gas miners. I think I already... Yeah, this is where the warp core is at. Like I said, I will do some decorative stuff over here eventually. Some better decorating. I've still got like holes popped in the floor here and there where I've been using to get quick access to certain places. So do be careful about falling through the floors in some of the maintenance areas. All right, heading up to the upper torus again. Actually, yeah, I need to come up here and grab the materials for a second rocket. So we need a rocket engine. We're going to need a couple of liquid fuel tanks. We'll do 4, I think was how many I used in the other one. We're going to need the guides computer. We're going to need a seat. Grab a seat. And let's see, the other thing we're going to need is... We're going to need a space station. ID chip. I don't know if I have enough here. I've got a blank one. Yeah, there's a blank one. Good. And the actual rocket. The motor. Rocket. Oh, there it is. Okay. Advanced rocket motor. Perfect. Alright. Okay, so back down to the bottom. I'm going to port down to the ground station. I just realized one of the other things we need to put out there on those launch pads is we need to get the refueling stations. Yeah, the rocket fueling stations. We'll need one for each side, I think.
Okay, those are easy to make.
Yeah. I don't know if they can be... I wonder if they can be linked to the docking pad. Good question. Good question. All right, so this is currently our thing which needs to be built. Let's build that. Let's turn that off real quick. We don't want that taken off because we're going to need to link it up, get our linker out. I don't want it taken off without me anyway. Plus I don't remember what I have in this guidance computer. Nothing. So hopefully somewhere in here I've got a station 3. That's our station. I'm going to come over here to the satellite builder. I'm going to put that there, and then hit the right secondary chip. So we get another copy of our station ID. Is that you shooting at stuff? Okay.
Yes.
Okay, and then go ahead and put our station 3 ID in there. Now once the station ID chip is in there, let's go ahead and link this to our rocket assembly machine so that it goes ahead and gets fueled up. Yep, there's a little line there. It's hard to see right now, but there's a little line there. Okay, I don't want to take off just yet. In fact, let me get out of that seat. So if I go in here, now that the station ID is in there and everything, we can go select destination, and you can see up here I've got 2 options for dock 1 or dock 2. I'm going to select dock 1 as the destination. And Darnell, if you want to go ahead and take this rocket up, I will go ahead and build the next one and park it at dock 2.
Yep, let me get back over here.
I probably should have grabbed another station ID chip just to be safe, but I think we're okay. And you just get in and hit space bar, ride it up. Don't hit shift or you'll fall off. There he goes. All right. While he's headed out, now that he's headed out, I'm gonna go ahead and build another one. 4. And then we put our guidance computer on there and a seat. Whoops. that's pretty much it. That's all there is to these little rockets. We'll go ahead and open that up and hit build. Put my station ID chip in there again. Select my destination and say Dock 2. And in theory it should already be fueled up.
I goofed. I gotta take it back up again.
What'd you do?
Oh no, wait a minute. It's landing at the, okay.
Okay, we are ready to take off. Station 3, Dock 2. Here we go.
It didn't look right. It looked like it was going back down to the planet.
Yeah, when you first arrive in space, you just see, you can't see the station at all.
Must be you coming down.
Be here in a second. Looks like the docking stuff is working just good. It's working good. Yep, perfect. Well, there we go. We got our 2 rockets up here. Now, we are going to need to put a fueling station for each rocket out here. Maybe run some cabling and stuff like that.
Yep.
But I think we're ready to warp to a new planet and take a quick look. Ooh, you know what? We're going to have that fueling station before we do that, though. So I believe we should have some fueling stations. Couple extra ones in here. Yeah, we do. Good. So we got that. We actually got a bunch of rocket fuel in these liquid things too. So let's pull a couple of those out. Let's see. Is there one that's more full than that? Maybe this one. Okay, and that means I'm going to need some mechanical pipe. Just a couple bits of that. Alright, that should be everything I need to get the fueling going on either of these. And what I will do is we can actually put the fueling station like right... I mean, we can really just have it like right here. These require power, dang it. So we're going to need to run power out to both, either one or both. You know what? I just realized. These don't even have to be out here. These can be... Ooh, that. I believe these can even be inside. Like right here. So if I put this like right here... I'm going to check this because I think this will work, but I'm not 100% sure. Let's go ahead and grab out a wrench. The configurator, I mean. So we can get fuel into that. Now we're going to need power into that as well. So let's see, how hard is that going to be? Where's the closest power? Over there. Or is it faster to come around this side? No, it's probably faster to come over from the other side over there. Alright, let's grab, we're going to need a whole bunch of cable here. I don't know if I have enough. Oh yeah, I definitely have enough. There's a couple hundred in there. So we're good there. And I will just run. It's not going to really matter too much. Just run it along the outside edge here. Or inside edge, I mean. That should give it power. Okay, the only thing left to do now here's the big test. Can we link this up in here? Ah, it's too far away from there. Okay. Well, it's worth a shot. Okay, so what we can do instead is run this power cable straight out. Oh man, I lost that bit. Let me turn this on for a second so that we don't lose anything. Also, we need to drain the power back out first, or drain the yeah, there we go. Drain that back out. Don't want to lose any of my rocket fuel. Okay, and then do you got any universal cable there?
No.
Back up a little.
Make sure you facade that.
Yeah, I can. Or I will. We'll definitely facade it later. But we want to bring it to right there. And then we will put that down there. Our thing of fuel there. And now, if we link what? Cannot be linked to a rocket. What? Fueling station cannot be linked to a rocket?
It has to be linked to the docking station, docking pad.
Oh, I think it's because it's still. Oh, it's not. Yeah, hang on. My linker is messed up. I'm trying to clear it. There we go. Coordinates unset. Link successful. There we go. Let's let me try if I link it. Let me see if I can in fact link it to the docking pad. I did, and it looks like it's good. Okay. So then we can just put down another one on this side. Pretty much the same location. And do a similar setup. For as often as we're going to use this, is probably okay. In fact, we can even run the power straight across here, I think. Instead of making a second hole, we can just come straight across like this.
I would have used the extra cable and zigzagged it underneath and made it go underneath the...
It didn't have that much in my inventory. This is a temporary solution anyway. We'll make it look nice later. In fact, I might even embed the cable in the cautionary stuff so that you can't see it at all when it's all said and done.
I would like that. That'd be cool.
Yeah, I mean we can do much better, but yeah, but we're already running over on our time, and I wanted to actually get to another planet and land. So taking this linker, linking this station directly to the docking pad, and yep, there it goes. It's linking that rocket, and if I get in there, you can see that the fuel just filled up. We're good to go. All right, our rockets are filled up and ready to go down to a new planet. So if we come in here to our warp controller, select a new planet. Where would you like to go, sir? Where would you like to go?
I don't know. Let's go to
Do we want to go to
Sol 69?
Sol 69. You talking about in this
In this solar system, yes.
In this solar system. Okay, let's go to Proxima Centaurus. Sol 69. Which one is Sol 69? So that's 52. Sol 69 is... that's a gas giant. We're not going to be able to land on that. If we want to land on another planet, we're going to have to actually pick something else. What about... yeah, probably... What about Sol 70? That looks like a Mars-like planet. Or 52.
Alright. Whatever. You pick.
Let's go to 52. It's got 2 moons. We'll see what that looks like. And this looks like a bigger planet too. So it might have better gravity. Alright, we're going to go to 52. 52. Select. Alright, that's not going to cost us a full amount of warp. Thankfully. If you go between stars, it actually takes 500 fuel. Since we're staying in our own solar system, it's only going to take 138. And we're not going to have to go... It's not going to take as long as if we were going in between stars. So we're engaged. Giving her all she's got. Pretty cool. Warping the whole station.
You know, you should have went up in the dome and let me hit the boat.
Oh, we got time to go up there. It's funny, you can actually... Oop, nope, we just arrived. We have just arrived. And that planet definitely looks different.
Yes, it does. It looks,
very Marsish. Marsish. Alright, let's go down to the planet and we'll wrap it up after we take a quick look.
do we want to take that material to make a, like, temporary base or something?
No, that's why we got the rockets. We can just go down, take a look, and then come back up. They're over this way. Yeah, I totally need to fix this in. At least that much. There we go. Alright, you ready?
Count us down.
3, 2, 1, blast off! That was pretty cool, actually. We got right beside each other. I like it. There goes the station. Oh, that is so vertigo. We're going up and the planet's still rotating a little. Now, because we got a chunk loader on our station, it will keep that rotation all the time now. So we don't have to worry about it.
Nice. Oh, resting space to descend.
Now, the funny part is we're probably going to end up like right on top of each other. No, it doesn't look like it. Actually, we look like we're slightly off. Although it does look like I'm about to land in a pool of lava.
Yeah, me too. Well, no,
you're going to be right beside it. Oh boy. Coming down through the atmosphere. Oh goodness. Oh yes. It is like right in the pool of lava. That's terrible. It's a terrible location to land.
Did it burn up the rocket?
No, but the rocket does look like it's on fire. It's got a fire thing on there. Oh, that's hilarious. Okay, what do we got? We got oxidized ferric sand.
You know why, right? If you notice, you landed in AE meteor.
Yeah, an AE meteor crater with lava in it. Lovely. I even probably have a bucket of water to like fix that, but I don't know. We're not staying too long. Definitely mobs here. Nice. Definitely lots of mobs here. Well, I mean, it's not really an impressive landscape. What is that? Oh, that's a Dalek. Lovely.
Oh my god, there's 2 AE meteors, 3 AE meteors.
Yeah, they're like lots of them here, isn't there?
Yeah, right next to each other.
Oh, there is 3. There's like 1 there too. Jeez, yeah. Well, I mean, if we needed applied logistics stuff, this would have been a great place to come. Would have been a great place to come if we didn't already have that stuff. What is this? Oh, check this out, dude. Check this out. We got
Hold up, you're right.
oil for pneumatic craft. Oh, and speaking of, I totally spaced out at the beginning of this video. I was supposed to mention the fact that we're now on version 0.5, which includes pneumatic craft. So there's one way to get pneumatic craft oil is to go to another planet if you've already generated a lot of your regular overworld. So you can find this stuff on other planets too. So yeah, there's oil pulls here. Pretty cool. Well, alright, I don't think there's a whole lot more to see here. We could, obviously, we could mine materials from underground. They're going to be fairly standard materials, I imagine. Do you see the pool of oil over there? It'd be a good way to get a bunch of oil is to like come to one of these planets and just scoop up a bunch of oil that we could use for pneumatic craft. Alright, I am taking the burning rocket back to the station. Hopefully the fire will go out here in a second. Oh, that is hilarious. Can't see anything but the fire.
Fuel. I just ran out of fuel.
That'll get us there. Maybe? Altitude's still going up. Oh, I didn't even think about this being, these places having higher gravity. Are we gonna make it?
Just gonna make it.
Just barely gonna make it, yep. Oh, I see you for a second there. Woo, that was close, thanks to this.
Yeah. At least one more.
Yeah, I think it's because we were actually on a high gravity planet. So I might do a redesign.
Why am I using anti-grav fuel?
It's probably just... I'm guessing it's because it thinks we're floating in the air. Same reason we use it when we go on the elevators. It's weird.
I might have to take them off and only put them on when we're going to use them.
Yeah, possibly.
Keep from burning up fuel. Well, I think we accomplished some stuff.
Yeah, we accomplished some good stuff. That is like a weird... weird... Oh, there it goes. Okay.
Took a minute for the space station to come into view, huh?
Yeah, plus there was like a weird, funky colored cloud layer that we were passing through. Alright. Oh, I bet I know why we were using anti-grav. Because we were in anti-grav before we jumped onto the rockets. Yeah, and it does look like it did lose connection. Ugh, stupid things. Anyway, that's a bug with the current version of advanced rocketry. They keep coming unlinked, even though you link them to the docking pad or whatever. But, hey guys, I hope you've enjoyed this video as much as we've been enjoyed making it for you. Don't know exactly what we're going to be doing next time. It's either going to be starting into some pneumatic craft, or we're going to be working on the fusion reactor. So, but between this episode and next, I'm hoping to maybe do a little bit more decorative stuff, fix up those launching pads a little bit more, get that all sorted out. But guys, thanks so much for watching. If you did like this, do be sure and hit that like button. And until next time, we will catch you later.
Goodbye.